For today's video, I'm going to show you how to invert colors in Photoshop. And you can use these techniques for creative image effects. We will also dive deeper into methods on inverting your images, explanation on how inverting color works, and using curve tool for inverting. First thing, I'm going to show you different methods in inverting your images. Before we apply the invert effect, the first thing we're going to do is always click on the layer that we want to invert. Let's go to the first method. Let's go up here and select image, then select adjustment and click on invert. And there you go. It's already inverted. Now I'm going to undo this one and I'm going to show you the second method. So the second method is about the use of the shortcut key. So the shortcut key is Control plus I. These are for the Windows users. But for the Mac users, you just have to press Command plus I. And another method is to go to Adjustments over here on the right side of your screen and then go to this image. Select this one and you can see the image is already inverted. You will also notice that we just created a new adjustment layer with the invert effect. Before we go to the last method of inverting, let me tell you what is inverting means. Well, it means that changing the color of an image so that each color's opposite is displayed. So I got here an example. Let's bring this back into original image. This is the original image, and then when I invert it, you will notice that the white turns to black, the blue turns to red, and the pink turns to blue, and so on. Now, the last method is all about the use of the curve. So let's bring this back again to its original image. To open curve tool, we just have to go to the layer, click on new adjustment layer, and then select curves. Then you can put a name on the curve of the layer if you want to. Let's say this one is invert. And then let's press OK. For inverting, we can use this curve tool for us to manipulate the colors that we want to. Looking at the curve adjustment layer, you have a dark portion here on the left and a light portion on the right. If I want to do an inversion, for example, I take the shadow and make it white. So I click here and drag up here and take the highlights from the right and put it in the opposite. Now we just flip the line and you will notice that our image is already inverted. But here in curve, we can still manipulate things over. So if I click an anchor point in the middle of this line, and now I'll drag this point to the original position. Now it created a half inverted image. Because in this case, we just only invert the shadows. Or the other way around, we can also invert the highlights and bring this one here. And you can experiment using these curves in what kind of inversion you want for your image. And by the way, if you find this video helpful so far, please consider subscribing to help YouTube algorithm show my video to other nerds like us. Now, I'm gonna invert this image just like from the image that I've showed you at the start of this video. Let's go. Now, I wanna move this shadow layer here in the middle. Then create another anchor point here. And let's just move it to the brighter side. And that is how you invert color in Photoshop.